Hi guys, welcome back to OSKG. I'm Chuck, and today Dale bought some cookbooks at an estate sale. One of my friends at work cooked it. Another friend at work was cooking it, and it's an old recipe that sounds really delicious and a good way to get rid of some tomatoes. So let's get started. What I want to make today is a tomato pie. And the reason I'm sitting here doing it and not in the kitchen is because everything needs to be sliced and put in a pie shell, and this would be the easiest way for me to do it. Now, the ingredients of the tomato pie, several of them I do have in the garden, so we're going to take a minute, run outside, grab some of the ingredients, then I'll meet you back in here and we can start putting the pie together. So if we're going to make this tomato pie, I wanted to come out and pick some tomatoes that we can actually put in the pie. I mean, you can't get any better than a fresh tomato when you're making a dish, so I figured I would come out and pick a few. And the beauty about this pie is you do want tomatoes that you can slice, but they can be red tomatoes, they can be green tomatoes. So some of these that are slightly ripe, they will work perfect for a tomato pie. You have to remember it will be baking for 30 minutes, so the pie will allow the tomatoes to cook down enough so that they're totally edible. Now also, while I'm in here, I want to sprinkle in some green onion, so we'll pick some of those. Some massive green onions. And let me run to the bed right behind me and I will pick some purple basil. That's also going to be layered between the tomatoes with seasonings and a few of these and some mushrooms which I bought at the store. Okay guys, here we go. Here are all the tomatoes we picked out in the garden, along with some purple basil and some green onions. I also am going to add spinach because I think spinach and tomatoes go extremely well together. And as we talked about outside, some button mushrooms. So to get started, it's going to be so hard. All we have to do is slice the tomatoes. We're going to do a thick slice because this is going to be baking, which will cook the tomato, and you don't want, if you do it too thin, you'll just end up with a mush. Then once you have them sliced, you're going to layer them in your pie shell. See how hard this is? Now, the pie shell is par baked because you don't want it to get too soggy while it's cooking. It's the only reason I've done that. So we're going to do small one because I have a couple of little spaces in there that I do want to fill. And then once we get to this point, this is where we're going to stop with that one. You do want to salt and pepper the tomatoes. This is your only chance to get seasoning on the tomatoes. And I mean, salt and pepper has to go on the tomato even if you're cooking it. Like I said, this could be a 2-layer pie, so we're going to get another layer in there in 1 second. But before we get that layer in there, this is where I want to add my spinach. Me and Dale like spinach, so I'm adding a little extra. And then we're going to thin slice some mushrooms. I only think that this will take 2 or 3 mushrooms, but I washed some extra just in case I wasn't positive. Let's do one more. Slice that up and throw that in. And then I had some queso cheese from some tacos I made the other night. I want to throw a little bit of that on the middle layer. You don't have to add the cheese to the middle layer, or you can add Parmesan cheese or Swiss cheese, any mild cheese, which is why I want to use queso. That onion just fell on my foot and scared the living daylights out of me. And that's it. We can pat it down a little bit. Oh, and green onions. That's not it. See, I'm just forgetting everything today. Green onions and just a little basil. Dale's not the biggest fan of basil, so I'm going to just rough chop. God, it smells so good. A little basil. And then we're going to start with the next layer. This one. As you can see, I picked way too many tomatoes. It's going to take about 3 or 4, depending on the size. Do our second layer. Get a tiny one. Chop that one up and add it to it. We're going to add a little more salt and pepper. Okay, we can throw all of this here because now we're going to make the topping. And once again, I am making this my own recipe. I'm adding some things that they do not add to it. I just think it's going to add more flavor and it'll be good. So we're going to add 2 cups of cheese, which is half a bag. If you want to grate your own, go for it. I know they have an additive to this, but it's not enough to kill in this recipe. Then I'm going to add some garlic. This is garlic paste. It's basically ground garlic. If you want to add the garlic but not get the crunch of actual clove of garlic, works great. And about half a cup of mayonnaise. Sounds odd, but if you think about it, mayo is basically oil, vinegar, and eggs, so it's stuff that does go in a pie. This is just the topping, and it's going to bake up and add some moisture to the pie, even though the tomatoes are in there. You just want to make it a paste and add it to the top of the pie. Sections. Spread it out as best we can. At some point I'll probably see myself using my hands to get it perfect, but I'm trying not to. It does smell really good, the tomatoes and the garlic and the basil. This one right here and cover this last little tomato. And there we have it. That's all the ingredients for a tomato pie. This is ready to go in the oven. You bake it at 350 degrees for 30 minutes until the cheese is bubbling and brown. Let it set for a little bit and then it's ready to cut meat. I'm going to run and put it in the oven, and I'll bring you back whenever the pie is actually done. Okay guys, the pie baked for 30 minutes in a 350 degree oven, just until you get some browning on the edges, and it smells so good. The garlic and the cheese and the tomatoes are all coming through. So let's get rid of this little piece of purple basil. And we'll slice a piece and see what we got. There is going to be moisture from the tomatoes, which is normal. So getting this pie piece out is going to be a little bit tricky. And there we have it. Beautiful layers of cheese and spinach with mushrooms in the middle. Topped with cheese, totally melted. This is going to be a good meal. If you like this video, guys, please consider subscribing to the channel, like and share the video so other people can get to know us, and let us know what you think of this recipe. As always, have a great day, and we'll talk at you next time.